stories, and it just kind of, all the momentum that was swinging the way of the other side, the reigning champions, the Janakpur Bolts, it started to come back towards the Kathamandu Ghorkhaj. I think they've recruited really, really well. Monty Desai, he's got this Midas touch. He has a way of just improving sides, building legacies, and getting sides to tell their own stories. As we look at the match summary here, Jess, I thought the standout cricketers for me were Milind Kumar, Ben Charlesworth. I like the way he goes about things. He really gives things a hit at the top. Shahab Alam was kind of the unsung hero of the entire day. He bowled 4 overs, 1 for 20. His left arm spin, like all the left arm spinners in this competition, will be not just very effective, but very important too.
Of course, and if we look at one of their standout batters last you just mentioned, Ben Charlesworth, an innings of 46 off 23. How important was it his innings when, you know, he had wickets falling around him?
Yeah, he didn't just have the wickets falling around him, but look at the way in which he got them off to a flying start. Strike rate at 200, and I think any left-hander at this ground you'll see strong into the leg side. I think he's quite a bottom hand dominant player. It's the first time I've seen him actually live myself. Very successful in county cricket, and the thing that I absolutely adore about the Siddhartha Bank Nepal Premier League is just how much the overseas players are buying into it. You see some franchise leagues, I'm not going to name names of other competitions, where players go through the motions a little bit, but the reason for that is these crowds. You look at it tonight again, a complete and utter sellout, not just the grandstands here themselves, but over towards the VIP sections. No tickets available, that's because sudurpachima are in town, and the players feed off that. Marshan Talanga's celebrations last night under the floodlights. This is a guy who's taken 5-wicket hauls for South African Test cricket. It looked like he's just as pumped up to be here as he will be playing for his national team.
Of course, we've got to touch on the standout bowler last match as well. Milind Kumar, 3 for 15. They were superb figures. How good was that?
Well, this year it is Milind Kumar's year. The rest of us are just purely transitioning through it. It's mainly been his batting that's been starring for America. It's the fastest ever associate cricketer to 1,000 one-day international runs. That's come from just 21 innings for the United States of America. But his bowling, for me, was strangely underused throughout that Major League Cricket campaign this year. That's where he was playing for the Texas Super Kings. And he's shown here exactly why his bowling is so highly valued. It's not regulation off spin at all. He's got a little carom ball that he flicks out of that finger there. That will go the other way, that will go away from the right-handers. And like most off-spinners, he loves bowling to left-handers. We saw the success he had against them there.
Absolutely. Now, if we look at the scores we've seen here so far, 130, 166, and a huge 220 last night, thanks to Guptill and Bam. But what does this tell us about how the pitch develops throughout the day?
Okay, well, you see those Chobar Hills up above us? It's going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. These scores, they're going to go up and up and up. 200's been summited for the first time. Not quite Everest at 200. I think we could go higher. We could see a 250 score at some point during the season. The reason why, those pitches out there are excellent.
Okay, and I'm going to finish putting you on the spot ever so slightly. What are your final predictions for the game?
Happy to be put on the spot and happy to out-predict H.D. Ackerman through the season. I think he's going to go for the Sudurpachima Royals. I'm not going to make myself popular here. I think it's the Kathamandu Ghorkhaj. I think I'm going against the majority of the crowd this evening. They've been so impressive, and winning that toss is going to be important as well.
Well, there you go. You've heard from the expert himself. Now, ball one is on its way. Stay tuned for all the action.
Thank you, Jess and Andrew. Yes, we can't wait for things to get started here. The roar is for real. That's because the Sudurpachima Royals are in town, and they'll be taking on a buoyed Kathamandu Ghorkhaj, who are coming off a very strong win in the very first encounter, or should I say the season opener. It's a full house this evening. The Ghorkhaj are in the huddle, and they'll be eager to make it 2-2 this evening and just about stamp authority in Season 2 of the Siddhartha Bank Nepal Premier League, powered by Encel. The cheers are getting louder, and the atmosphere is electric as the opening batters make their way to the middle. It's the stalwart Binod Bandari who will once again hold the aces up front. He scored a lot of runs last season opening the innings, and there'll be a lot of ammunition right on top. Wonderful evening, great setting, and a wonderful gentleman alongside me to give me company in the comm box, H.D. Ackerman.
Mikhail, a very good evening to you, and a good evening to all our viewers that are tuned in around the world. Josh Brown, the Australian, is the other opening batsman. I'm a little bit surprised that Chris Lynn doesn't go to the top of the order, but he's occupied many positions in the batting order over what is an illustrious career. Josh Brown's sprung to prominence with a brilliant innings during the Big Bash a few years ago for the Brisbane Heat. Hasn't played an enormous amount of T20 cricket, but he packs a real punch. Beautiful yet again. Light's not quite on, but it won't be long before the the floodlights are switched on. Mikael, it's been mightily impressive the opening couple of days.
You frame this if you're a cricket fan. That's an image for posterity, may I add. Josh Brown, career strike rate of close to 150. Remember, it's a very flexible batting lineup here for the Sudurpachima Royals. He's closing in on 1,000 runs. Has a century, a best of 140. A lot of quality on top. And at the other end, you have the stalwart, one of the most revered batters in Nepal, Vinod Bhandari. He got 235 runs last season, opening the innings for the Sudurpachima Royals. And he'll want to continue in NPL Season 1. He's been quite the statesman and the talisman for the Sudurpachima Royals.
Yeah, that strike rate is something that he'll want to just improve a little bit. About 110 as an opener. I think you want to be above that 120 mark, because the likes of Brown and Lynn, well, they touching 140, aren't they? They're going to provide massive firepower. Karan KC, the captain of the Ghorkhaj, the change of kit has certainly helped them. They won from one. Crowd filling up nicely. A sellout crowd here tonight. A little bit surprised by their one change. I'm going to be interested to hear when Andrew Leonard makes it up the stairs and if there's a slight injury to Gerard Erasmus. But Sunny Patel coming into the Ghorkhaj side at the expense of the Namibian captain, who is a wonderful T20 player and leader.
Oh yes, Sunny Patel played a lot of cricket for Gujarat. Quite a senior statesman, is now playing franchise cricket. Has played a lot of cricket in Nepal as well. Karan Casey with the ball in hand, plays the call, slip in place. Furlonged off inside the circle. We all set for match number 4. Just the sound of leather hitting willow just talks about and accentuates the importance of the surface as well, HD.
Right on the money. That's exactly right. It makes a sweet sound off the bat when you know the ball's coming on. Now Brown may have a look because this is his first time here in this beautiful country, but he doesn't look for very long. He is a big striker of the cricket ball.
Son playing hide and seek at Kirtipur. Fuller delivery, a bit of an inside edge maybe. Oh, that's been given. The finger goes up. Josh Brown is a bit disconsolate. He walks back though with some disbelief. A lucky strike here for the Kathamandu Ghorkhaj and a bit of a jolt here for the Sudurpachima Royals.
He's not happy. He's not happy at all. It was a big shout from Karan Casey. It just didn't look right sitting from up here though, because it sort of squeezed. You almost felt there was an inside edge. Oh, it's huge. It's a massive inside edge. Massive inside edge. Josh Brown is rightly very, very upset as he makes his way off the ground without scoring. And the Royals have had an early setback. He goes without scoring, 0 for 1. What a shot. It's not even close. It's a deflection. He's got the inside half of the
intensity in town. These numbers send shivers to bowlers. Can the man bring out a whirlwind knock this evening? Chris Lynn, those numbers say it all. 56 50s. He's been a journeyman in T20 cricket, a globe-trotting T20 cricketer. Over 8,500 runs, and what a time for him to come out in ball number 3 on NPL debut. Karan Casey, well, that appeal was quite vocal and vociferous.
I think umpire Rambokwela will look at that tonight and go, yep, I've made an error there. But it's not a problem. We know that umpires make mistakes. It's a tough game as it is. They get one look at it, we get many, but that was a thick inside edge, and Josh Brown will feel mightily aggrieved.
gives the charge. Lovely bit of fielding at covers. The Ghorkhaj are electric this evening. Certainly that win in that last game has lifted their spirits.
Always nice to get a win under the belt early on. Just gives you that extra confidence. This is a lovely bit of fielding, but Lynn has shown his intent right from the very first ball here. Now Chris Lynn played 290 odd games. I did a little bit of counting this morning, Mikhail. 35 plus teams he's played for around the world. Gone are the days of playing for just one.
35 teams and the amount of runs he's amassed, over 8,500. He's a body of work, an institution in cricket. Adil Ansari there at covers. He's doing some very good fielding there.
Yeah, 600s as well. I mean, you know, getting a T20 100 is that's hard work. I mean, if we look at the amount of cricketers around the world that actually play the game, it's only a handful really that get hundreds in T20 cricket, and he's got 6.
Yeah, great acquisition here for the Sudurpachima Royals to bring in Lynn. Binod Bhandari still to get off the mark. Did see a wicket go down at the other end. Oh, he's chipped it. And this could be a soft dismissal. It's been taken. Karan Casey on fire. Ghorkhaj bossing around. Sudurpachima Royals 2 down in the first over. They're on the back foot. What a start here for the Ghorkhaj.
Binod's trying to whip this through the leg side, and Karan Casey, if you're standing at the non-striker's end, you'll see that he tries to swing the ball away from the right-handers, which makes accessing that leg side difficult. And it's a leading edge that's found. It spirals into the air. It's a good catch. And so they've lost their second already. Inside the first over, Binod Bhandari goes. He too goes without scoring. It's 1 for 2.
What a toss to win, what a start by the captain. He'll be feeling vindicated. He called it right and he's delivered as well. Arif Sheikh comes out. Another very, very experienced campaigner. Close to 800 runs, a 50 to his credit, a best of 93. And a very good strike rate as well. What a time for him to come out. Team in trouble. They're in a deep hole at the moment. It's going to be spin from the other end. Shah Alam comes in. Got to really look at the way Ghorkhaj approach this bowling profile of theirs, because remember, actually in the last game, it's the spinners who bowled 14 of the 20 overs and accounted for 5 wickets.
Yeah, 1 for 20 in the opening game, Shah Alam. Their whole spin attack, as you rightly mentioned, was very impressive. The reading of the facility of the surface by Karan Casey was good.
A bit tentative here. Chris Lynn, he may have played for 35 teams, but it's always a start, right, HD?
Well, that's the thing. He normally opens the batting and you can play with a lot of freedom, but now you find yourself 2 down at the wicket. You need to readjust the way you play, but I'm not sure he will. It's just held a little bit.
They're a good, well-rounded bowling attack. We saw Santosh Yadav as well bowled some very nice left-arm spinners. Just trying to use his feet here. You can sense he's trying to just find that release shot, HD.
That's not a good shot. I mean, that's hit from in and around off stump. He's trying to whip that through the leg side. You can understand he's trying to rotate the strike, but No need just yet. I wonder if this is just holding in the pitch ever so slightly.
Come on, lads.
We've seen
3-4,
Bandari
boys.
get out with a leading edge. We've seen Lynn nearly get a leading edge to cover against the spin of Alam. Yes, so just with regard to Chris Lynn, and a little bit tentative, you can understand that. We'll get back to that point. End of the second over, 2 for 2.
ही खेले हो रहा है लाजिम मोदी यार बहुत करिए
Yeah, quite a flexible batting lineup, the Sudurpachima Royals. Watch out for a couple of other batters as well, Nishant Pandey and Arif, who's there in the middle. They can really add a lot of solidity and dependability. Then you have Scott Kugelheim, who can get the big hits, Dipendra Singh Airi, Harmeet Singh as well. And Naren Saud has improved upon his batting. He wants to be a genuine all-rounder. So Hemant Dhami, watch out for him. Two very fine young cricketers from the under-19 who made a splash in the auctions as well, particularly Hemant Dhami. For the Kathamandu Ghorkhaj, just the one change, so they'll heavily rely on their spin department, even as Karan Casey is on a high after 2 wickets in that first over.
So just going back to your question around Chris Lynn and being a little bit tentative, you know, again, first trip to Nepal, he would have looked at the pitch, and when you look at a surface like that, and then you think about what he plays on back home, it probably looks very similar, but doesn't play in the same way. It'll always be a little bit slower. There won't be as much bounce. So he has to give himself a little bit, just a touch of time.
Yeah, he's just trying to go hard at it. You can sense that he's trying to curb his natural instinct, but that's getting the better of him every now and then, HD.
It looks a picture. Nice covering of grass, held together, no significant cracks or scarring from previous matches, because it's a new one. Tonight we're on the new pitch. This whole square was hardly used, if used at all, for an entire year while they built this magnificent ground, or redeveloped this magnificent ground, I should say.
What a start here for Ghorkhas, and contrasting for Sudurpachima Royals. Karan Casey 1 for 30 in his 4 in the first game. And today he's already 2 for 1 in 1.3.
Once we get out that power play, we're going to have a raft of spin that's going to be bowled to the Royals. You mentioned they've got plenty of batting, but 3 for 2. You lose a couple of more inside the power play, and the statistics weigh heavily against you. There's not many teams that go on to win 4 down inside a power play.
Yeah, still to find that boundary, nicely nudged away to deep third, and very nicely fielded as well. Still to find that elusive boundary. We're into over number 3. Prageet Rambakuela was in the middle of a big decision some time back, and his colleague at the other end, Vinay Kumar Jha. TV umpire for this game, Mr. Buddhi Pradhan, and a reserve umpire, Ujjwal Regmi, and match referee as always, Mohammad Shafiq. Tries to break the shackles, found the fielder and mid-off. Karan Casey is in his elements. Sudurpachim's are falling apart this evening. Wicket number 3 for Karan, and the big man, Chris Lynn, walks back.
It's just too much for him. He wants to score, he wants to find boundaries. But now his dismissal has left his team in an awful mess. He's trying to go up and over mid-off, but just couldn't quite get the elevation. Nice catch And the skipper has 3. Big wicket. Massive wicket. Lynn goes for 2, 4 for 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, full house to see the Sudurpachim Royals at the moment. They're all over the place. And who would have thought the finalists from last season will be 4 for 3 in over number 3. Very impressive batter. I still remember his 38 unbeaten runs in NPL Season 1 HD. That came under pressure, and he played a 6-over point, and he carved that 6, and that's still very, very distinct in my memory. Very talented batter, this man, Ishan Pandey.
Needs a few more than 38 tonight. They're in a pickle here. Yeah, this captain's still to come, Dipendra Singh Airy, but he normally likes to walk to the wicket and say about the 12th over, 13th over.
Karan Casey is bowling some rippers this evening. What an over once again. A wicket and 2 runs, it's 4 for 3. Harmeet Singh, Dipendra Singh Airy. Still a lot of smile, still a lot of hope in this batting lineup because they bat deep and long, but wait for him to walk out and the stadium will turn into an amphitheatre HD.
A few more seats that need to be occupied before he walks out. A couple of empty seats still around as people make their way from work. Oh, what a star this man was in their opening fixture.
3 for 15 in his 4, contributed with the bat as well. Walked away with the player of the match, Milind Kumar.
Don't want a hand, boys. Don't want a hand, boys. Sorry. No, Rashid's fine. Rashid's okay. Yeah.
There's a lot of chatter behind the stumps.
It's gone fine. Just be a couple. He's a tricky customer to play against, Milind Kumar, because he's not a big spinner of the ball, but he does get it to go away from the left-handers, and he has the ability to just run it back into the left-handers. Just a touch, but it's enough to give the batters plenty to think about. A good old-fashioned mystery spinner.
I was always under the impression, a quick runner, good running. Just coming back to your point, good old-fashioned mystery spin. I always thought that was a contemporary